Welcome to Circle Sanctuary's Brooms and Cauldrons Full Moon Circle. I'm Reverend Judith, and I'm delighted that you are joining us as we broadcast live tonight, or if you're tuning in later, as we celebrate the month of October, culminating in our Festival of Samhain on our Nature Spirit Sanctuary preserved land at the end of the month. I give thanks to our tech wizard for the beautiful flute music, as well as the ocean sound in the background that he has gifted us with at the beginning, and he will again at the end. So, as you noticed, this was recorded while he was visiting many sacred sites in the UK recently. And for all of the amazing Circle Sanctuary volunteers joining us tonight, thank you for being here. This evening, you'll hear from them about the lore of jumping a broom and traditions that use them in rites of passage, and how brooms can be used for cleaning rituals, especially on a night like last night and early this morning, when we have had a beautiful harvest full moon to welcome in the darker half of the year. You'll also hear about how to best use and care for your cauldrons and the best time to do so, how they can be used to cook up a pumpkin soup for loved ones, or burning incense and candles, or for making transformational potions, plus the science and practicality of our spiritual practices. We'll also use the elemental cauldron for healing and renewal as we near the end of our pagan year and prepare for the new year to come. We again have our musical duo, Black Willow Starling, with us tonight to share a number celebrating this magical season, as well as another piece that actually uses a bowl and broom to make magical sounds. Thank you for joining us as we celebrate this beautiful time of year, as the leaves are turning color and the trees are getting ready for their winter slumber in order to prepare again for spring's renewal. It is now my pleasure and honor to welcome our High Priestess and Senior Minister, Selena Fox. Welcome, Selena.
Thank you, Judith. And thanks to everyone who is joining us live and to all of you who will join later. I invite you to share in the comments, in the chat, where you're viewing from. If you have a particular spiritual tradition that works with cauldrons and or brooms, I invite you to also share about that and give thanks for this time of year, which going into Samhain in the northern hemisphere and into Beltane in the southern hemisphere, and cauldrons and brooms are things that we in the Circle Sanctuary community use at both of those festivals, as well as throughout the year. Let us consider ourselves as part of a living community of practitioners today of many paths of nature spirituality, and also see as part of our community those who have gone before, and this being at a time when the veil is beginning to be thin, those who are yet to come. It's wonderful to be with you, and I invite you to listen to some announcements.
Thank you, Reverend Selena. Hi, I'm Dia, and greetings and welcomes to our Brooms and Cauldrons Full Moon Circle broadcast. This coming Saturday, October 11th, is this month's Circle Sanctuary Volunteer Day. Please join us to prepare for our Samhain celebration, which will be about grief, the other side of love, to be held from Friday, October 31st through Sunday, November 2nd, with a celebration of Circle Cemetery's 30th anniversary on Saturday. Registration for the Volunteer Day and the Samhain Festival is now open at www.circlesanctuary.org. This month, on the 20th, we will also wish Circle Sanctuary's founder and senior minister, Selena Fox, a happy birthday. And on the 27th, we celebrate Circle's founding in 1974. Circle's next online gathering is our Green Face Circle on Saturday, October 25th. If you'd like to be part of our conversation and ecological discussions, please email us at greencircle@circlesanctuary.org. And you can find Circle podcasts throughout the month on Facebook, as well as the previous Full Moon Circle broadcasts on YouTube at circlesanctuary.org. To find out more about our in-person and other online activities and to become a member or make a donation to show your support, please visit our website. Please also join us again next month on Wednesday, November 5th for our Ancestors Wisdom Full Moon broadcast. Marin will now cast our circle.
Thanks, Dia. Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's Brooms and Cauldrons Full Moon Circle. My name is Marin King, and I'm coming to you from my home here in North Central Florida, USA. As we open this circle, we call to the guardians of the watchtowers of the north and to the spirits of the rich brown earth that will soon embrace those who hibernate in warm dens filled with collected bounty to last them through the coming cold days. We ask you to please join us on this full moon night, and we say hail and welcome. We call to the guardians of the watchtowers of the east and to the spirits of the autumn winds that sweep seeds such as milkwood and aster across the land to settle and rest through the cold of winter, to rise once again in the springtime. We ask you to please join us on this full moon night, and we say hail and welcome. We call to the guardians of the watchtowers of the south and to the spirits of fire that gather at our hearths and our homes to heat the cauldrons filled with our physical and spiritual nourishment. We ask you to please join us on this full moon night, and we say hail and welcome. We call to the guardians of the watchtowers of the west and to the spirits of water in all its forms, from the autumn rains that fill lakes and rivers to the snow and ice that insulates seeds and roots in the soil and wildlife in their dens from the winter storms high above. We ask you to please join us on this full moon night, and we say hail and welcome. We call upon the goddesses and gods of the pantheons of the earth and ask them to join us as we share our stories and songs, our blessings and teachings together in this space under this full moon. Hail and welcome. With these words, our circle is cast. I now welcome Richard to kindle our moon fire.
Thank you, Marin, for casting our ritual circle. My name is Richard. I am doing this podcast from my home in Madison, Wisconsin, USA. This moon cycle, we look at brooms and cauldrons. I'm reminded of the burning broom in the film The Wizard of Oz, but that is a whole other witch world and storyline. I light this ecologically friendly recycled beeswax candle to represent the bonfires that we pagans light in the center of our ritual circles. I celebrate fire in all of its forms, from the small candle to a large bonfire. So mote it be. Up next is Judith to have us all light our individual candles.
Thank you, Richard. And I now ask you all to light and raise your own candles, or to simply shine your most beautiful and loving light out into the world and beam that light of hope, honor, and gratitude for this amazing life that we are all sharing here and now. May we honor all that walk this path on our Mother Earth at this time, whether they agree with us or not, knowing that we are all equally cared for and loved by the great divine spirit, God or goddess, or by whatever you choose to call that life force. All are welcome here. And so it is, so mote it be. Selena will now invoke this full moon energy. Thank you, Selena.
Thank you, Judith. We are from many paths and many places. Let us attune and commune with full moon. Bright moon, full moon, supermoon, bright moon, full moon, supermoon, bright moon, full moon, supermoon. We call to you, we honor you. Come, be in us, be with us, guide us, bless us, now and throughout our circle together. So be it. And I invite Amy to share about Brooms.
Thank you, Reverend Selena. I'm going to talk about using our broom and the connection with ancestors to sweep away what doesn't serve. Samhain or Hallows Eve is sometimes called the Witch's New Year. Some look at this time to the thinned veil between this world and the next in order to speak with and receive messages from our ancestors that may help us in preparing for the beginning of a new cycle. Some traditions look to our ancestors not only of blood, but also of milk, of wine, and of bone. Ancestors of milk are our teachers. Those could be Mrs. Jones from 6th grade who told us we were good enough, or another teacher who may only have met us, or who we may only have met through their books or other broadcasts. Maybe it's even the teacher who embarrassed us in front of the class and whose insensitive remarks need to be released. Our ancestors of wine are those who have enriched this life, a poet, a singer, a painter, or an actor whose work inspires us, famous, infamous, or not. Our ancestors of bone are those who relate to the spirit of place, those ancestors with the history of our own town or our own home. Be it the unceded First Nations people in your local area, the grandmothers who fought for your right to vote, or the former occupant of your current home. Take a moment to think about who you would like to collaborate with just now. A broom can be used as a spiritual tool. In this use, it's sometimes called a besom. Use a besom to sweep away energetic debris, be that old dirty energy or ideas and thought forms that no longer serve us. A besom could be as fancy as this one, with specific grasses that were gathered on just the right moon for your purpose, or as mundane as this one from the Home Depot. It could even be like this one from Dollar Tree. Consider creating a special broom that's just for one use, that includes things that from nature that you can then burn once it's been used, returning it to the earth after it's served its role in your work. During this full moon leading up to Samhain, light a candle, burn some incense, and offer some food or other physical thing that the ancestor you would like to work with would be attracted by. We can then speak or write down those things that we wish to clear. Perhaps also spread some salt, some rosemary, or grave dirt with permission and intention. And using the besom, sweep away, asking our ancestors to sweep from their end on the other side of the veil, karmically clearing the thought form from all time. So as we will it, and as we speak it, so be it. And now I invite Nancy.
Hello, everyone. I am, in fact, Nancy, and I have something I'd like to share. Nothing says lovin' like something from the coven. These are words that I want emblazoned over my stove. I have fond memories of last Samhain stirring a big batch of pumpkin soup, waiting for my circle to arrive, and then having the satisfaction of listening to them savoring the dish, knowing the love I put into it in anticipation of them eating it. And that food came out of what? A cauldron. Now, you may say, a cauldron? Who actually cooks in their cauldron? Mine is 6 inches wide and burns incense nicely. But the definition of a cauldron is not cast iron and 6 inches wide. It is a pot of any size for cooking. Cast iron, stainless steel, enameled. If it is the pot you cook in, it is your cauldron. Care for it, treat it right. Let it help you make good food with love. Your cauldron. So make memories. Cook for those you love. Stealing a line from a film, at the table, no one grows old. As this Samhain time draws near, remember those times around the table where age fell away and we were together with those we love. Sometimes words fail, and sometimes food may not be love, but when you put love into food, it can warm the coldest heart, and words are no longer needed. Blessed be everyone. And now Wynn has something she would like to share.
Hello, my name is Wynn, and I will be sharing how we can learn from our ingredients and how they can connect to a greater whole. This time of year, like all times of year, the earth speaks, and if we're wise, we listen with all our senses. As the harvest moon climbs full of memory and marrow, illuminating what has ripened through effort, time, and unseen tending, we gather ingredients. Whether they're for a tonic or a spell or soup, they're not just collecting items to put in, they're collecting the food and the magic and the medicine. And those stories of those ingredients weave themselves into your brew. As we prepare our ingredients, it's possible to attune to their stories, to what they reveal to us through their form and through their flavor. This is actually how I build my fire cider, not just by following a recipe, but by reading the seasonal and environmental wisdom that is inside each of those ingredients so that I can find balance in the process, so that I can build my potion. Onions with those papery skins, they tell me that it's been a dry summer. Their flavor is going to be sharper, their storage time is going to be shorter, and that dryness is carrying that heat of the season within it. If I look to my garlic, I'm always looking for that firm and unsprouted that is still holding tightly to its energy. It's medicine that hasn't yet spent itself yet, that is fresh, that is pungent, that is abundant. When I look for my horseradish, well, here in Dallas, we haven't had our first frost yet. So I don't have that snap cleanly and biting back as I grate it, but the root is fiery and it is drawn up. And it is a clear signal to me that the cold has arrived and my plant is ready. And then I add that vinegar in and it draws out that story from each of those ingredients, the roots, the fruits, the heat, the hunger. That's the alchemy of the potion. Listening, selecting, preparing. Not in haste, but with reverence. The cauldron teaches us that every root has a reason, a season. It has grown. It has its own perfect timing, its own place, its own form, its own balance. When we work in partnership with that living intelligence, that feeling of the plants, those allies that are truly way more than just a thing, but our medicine, that's when your fire cider isn't just protection. It's an alignment. It's a connection. It translates the elements and allows you to take them in with intention. So when you craft in your cauldron, remember that you are crafting in alignment with the tuning of the wheel of the year itself. and that the harvest speaks through your preparation. Thank you. Black Willow Starling will be sharing next.
Hello everybody, we're Black Willow Starling. We're going to be doing a song tonight that appears off of our debut album. It's also going to be appearing on Pagan Song Blog, coming out on October 16th, and you can find that at pagansong.com. This is a tune that we have called Between Times Part 2.
So turns the wheel of the season, ever has been and will be. Long shadows growing, the north winds are blowing, the frost silvers field and lea. The earth breathes and rests for a moment, to revel in amber and gold, with graceful leaves falling, a liminal calling, hearken to memories of old. Dark meets light, while night meets dark. Night consumes the dying light. Brood on the vine weigh heavy, the seed slumber sheltered within. The bonfires ignite, warming the cold night and thinning the veil at Samhain. By root, by fire and candle, the bones of the ancestors call. The soot on the cauldron, the waning of the sun, welcome in autumn and fall. Dark meets light, while light meets dark. Night consumes the dying light. Death meets life, while life meets death. Turn the wheel and hourglass. Between times.
And now to Selena.
What a wonderful song. Well, I am going to share with you some lore about brooms that is connected with weddings, also known as hand fastenings. And actually, the broom can be connected with a variety of life passages. But what's probably most known around the world and across a variety of cultures and spiritual traditions is the custom of jumping the broom as part of a couple joining their lives together in marriage. Now, jump the broom, jump the broom, jump the broom. Where did that come from? There is mystery and magic with it. Some say It goes back to old Europe. Some say that it's Wales or England or amongst the Romany people. Some say it's African, especially West Africa is often one of the places that's been mentioned. While we do not know for certain when broom jumping first got connected with marriage, we know that that tradition is well traveled and continuing to be used today. Part of what happened in the 20th century, there was a book and then a mini series in 1976 and 1977 called Roots, a very powerful telling of the tale of Africans enslaved in their coming to America, and part of the lore and history. We do have some documented references from the 1840s and 1850s that enslaved Africans had their weddings by jumping the broom. Now, some say that that miniseries revived that custom. Others say that that custom had continued on, not only in African American circles, but in Canada as well. In the 1970s, broom jumping in connection with Wiccan and other forms of pagan and nature religion ceremonies also became widespread. In fact, back in August of 1979, Time magazine had a picture of a hand fasting, and yes, I was holding a broom as part of that. And jumping the broom is one of the favorite traditions that I have offered couples that want me as a wedding officiant. I have 3 different parts. Couple is getting ready to jump the broom. I have the people who are attending on either side, and I go down that corridor sweeping the broom, clearing away energetically any obstacles or things that might impede happiness and joy and a wonderful marriage. And then at the end, that's where the broom is. Sometimes the broom is flat on the ground. Sometimes I hold it up, depending on the couple. And then once the broom jump has happened, there's a tradition called wedding photos. And often I will hold the broom above the newly married couple. Now, one of the best things about the broom jump is getting audience participation, if they're open to that. So the chant, jump the broom, jump the broom, jump the broom, gets everyone involved and engaged, and it can be such an amazing blessing. So, jumping the broom represents moving into a new phase of life. And some say the staff is the male principal and the broom part is the female principal. And some say that the broom as a whole is beyond gender. It's a magical way of moving across a threshold. So I invite you to continue your exploration of broom lore, recognizing that jumping the broom is not just something from folklore and from history, but it's something that is alive and well today. And now we're going to shift to Cauldrons with Dia.
Thanks, Selena. I'm going to talk to you today about how to season your cauldron and get it ready. When you buy a cauldron for the first time, you have to season it. And what you want to use is flaxseed, avocado, or grapeseed oil. These have very high temperatures before they smoke, and that's what you want to use. You want to cover your cauldron in it, and then you want to put it in the oven upside down and turn it on to 400 or 450. You want to leave it there for an hour and then turn the oven off and just leave it alone. Let it cool all the way down before you take it out. And then afterwards, you need to do some caring of your cauldron. And I have a cauldron here, and I want to show you this. If you look right here, you can see that I put some oil on it already. And what that tells me is this cauldron is thirsty. It really wants some oil. And I have some oil here. I also have a preferably a rag that's not gonna uh, kill or come up, have little pieces of lint that come off of it. But you can see that I've just rubbed this in just a little bit and it's being soaked into it. And you can see it now has a little bit of a different patina. That's what you want. I do this at in bulk. And when I do it, I usually say something like, Fire of Caradwyn, Maker of Awin, Cauldron of Rebirth, and Cauldron of Plenty. As I consecrate and protect this cauldron, let its service be for the highest good of all, to last my lifetime and beyond. And if you take care of your cauldrons like this, you will have a great heirloom that you can pass on to others. Now we're going to turn to talk about your first cauldron with Rebecca.
So I was pretty excited when I heard that this month's theme was brooms and cauldrons. I was immediately transported back to 1997 when I got my first cauldron and celebrated my first Samhain. So I grew up in a small town in northeast Wisconsin. And again, it was the 90s, so it wasn't an easy task to find a cauldron. So I found one, and I can't remember if it was either Goodwill or a rummage sale, but I found one and it looked similar to this. And it was pretty rusty. And so I decided to, purchase it. And I remember taking a wire brush and scrubbing off all the rust. And then I painted the outside this beautiful gold color. So now fast forward several seasons and it's Samhain, and my best friend from high school is visiting me in college, and we are going to go and sneak out behind my dorm and we're going to do our first ritual together. So we decided to do a standard ritual where we were going to write on pieces of paper things that no longer served us and throw it into the fire. So I went first and I had my paper and I threw it into my cauldron, and all of a sudden, whoosh, just flames, and my cauldron exploded. And I am sitting there thinking, is this the goddess speaking to me? And then I realized that I had spray painted not only the outside of the cauldron, but also the inside of the cauldron. So I had, in fact, just threw, flames onto spray paint. But that experience taught me that sometimes we need to think about the practical side of our magic, because our religion is beautiful and it's exciting and it's fun, but we can't forget the science behind things. Now, I've heard people say that they were really concerned when they were doing candle magic and black soot was coming out. And they think, oh my gosh, this must be a bad omen. Something bad must be ready to happen to me. Maybe. Or maybe you're using a paraffin wax candle and you really should switch to something a little more clean, like beeswax or soy. I've had people say that they were very concerned because they could see shadows when they in the corners of their eyes, and they weren't sure what was going on. There was a presence in their home. Maybe, or maybe you have a retinal detachment or an astigmatism, and you should have your eyes checked. So I look for signs wherever I go, and I definitely believe in signs. But sometimes we do need to take a step back and say, Is that the goddess speaking to me? Or is it just the spray paint? Next up is Stephen, and we're going to hear some music from him.
Greetings all. So I've collected some sounds, and I do more to sound sculpture, and so this is all. So I invite you to sit back and imagine yourself sitting in front of a cauldron being heated with a warm glowing fire off in the middle of the woods with a full moon overhead. Blessed be. And back to Selena.
Thank you, Steve. Full moon circle on full moon night. Magic cauldron, full moon right. Full moon circle on full moon night. Magic cauldron, full moon right. Full moon circle on full moon night. Magic cauldron, full moon right. This is a chant that I sometimes will use as part of full moon rituals. What most is associated with the cauldron, as mentioned before, it is for nurturing, and typically it is heated and there's fluid in and ingredients. But one of the ways that I do cauldron magic is using cauldrons with the elements. And tonight, I invite you to join me as we connect with cauldrons for healing. Cauldron of earth. And I invite you, as I hold this cauldron of earth, salt of the earth, to let the power of renewal of cauldrons, blessing your physical body. Let the cauldron of earth guide you in well wishes for your physical body and your physical circumstances. Blessing you with good health and well-being and prosperity. Cauldron of earth, we call to you and honor you. Bless us and guide us. So be it. Cauldron of air. Blessing your mind, your thoughts, your intellect. We call to the cauldron of air to bless us, to heal us, to guide us in good mental health, blessing our thoughts, our learnings, our communications. Cauldrons of air, come, be with us, guide us, bless us. So be it. Cauldron of fire, blessing our stamina, vitality, our doings, and our restings. Work and play, creative, inspiration and transformation. Powers of the cauldron of fire, come to us and be with us, heal us, guide us, transform us, energize us. So be it. Cauldron of water, to heal and bless our moods, our emotions, our feelings. We experience ourselves connecting with cauldron of water, blessing our relationships with dimensions of ourself and with others. Powers of the cauldron of water, be with us, guide us, heal us, bless us. So be it. And cauldron of spirit, blessing us, guiding us in our spiritual life, dispelling what's not needed and bringing and amplifying our connections with the divine as one and as many. Cauldron of spirit, we call to you, we honor you. Come, be with each of us and bless us now and in times to come. So be it. And I invite you right now to feel those powers of the elements, the earth, the air, the fire, the water, the spirit, being in you and with you, the magic of the cauldron of renewal in its different forms. And now, as we continue our work with healing, I invite Chris, who does bardic magic with his flute, to guide us in sending healing to those in need and to the planet as a whole. And in particular, peace. Peace, different places on the planet, peace within our own nations, peace within ourselves. Let the power of flute and bard guide our working for peace. Peace be upon us, peace be around us, peace be within us, peace, inner peace, world peace. Blessed be. Amen. So be it. I invite Marin to guide us in releasing the circle.
Thank you, Selena and Chris, for your healing energies. As our circle begins to come to a close, we thank the gods and goddesses for their presence and their witness of our healings and blessings, of our stories and songs. We invite you to stay or to go if you will, as we say hail and farewell. To the guardians of the watchtowers of the west and the spirits of the water, we thank you for your presence and witness to our circle, and we invite you to stay or go if you will, as we say hail and farewell. To the guardians of the watchtowers of the south and to the spirits of fire, we thank you for your presence and witness to our circle, and we invite you to stay or go if you will, as we say hail and farewell. To the guardians of the watchtowers of the east and to the spirits of air, we thank you for your presence and witness to our circle, and we invite you to stay or go if you will, as we say hail and farewell. To the guardians of the watchtowers of the north and to the spirits of the earth, we thank you for your presence and witness to our circle, and we invite you to stay or go if you will, as we say hail and farewell. The circle is now opened but unbroken until we meet again. Now I'd like to welcome Judith back for some closing thoughts.
Thank you so much, Marin. And thank you all for being with us this evening or for watching later. We all send you our very best wishes of light, hope, and joy so that all are equally loved and cared for, just as the great spirit of all things equally loves and cares for each and every one of us. as we go through this time of transformation and growth, learning these earthly lessons that our souls have come here in order to evolve. Wishing you all peace, love, and the divine understanding that we are all one. Amen, Ashe, Inshallah, Namaste, Shalom, Ahom Atakwiasin, and so it is, so mote it be. Peace be with you. Wishing you all a beautiful journey until we meet again, and a blessed and safe Samhain. Steve will now tell us a little bit about where you all have been tuning in from tonight. Thank you all. Steve?
Blessed be all. Here I'm going to present a map of where you all are coming from. And here we go. So my apologies to the person from calling in from Austria. If I'd included him, it would have been everybody been all crowded together. So thank you, and blessed be, and thanks for all tuning in.
Hello, I'm Wynn again. And I want to thank Selena and thank all of our wonderful Circle Sanctuary volunteers who have been on this broadcast tonight, and for all of you who have joined us live or who will be watching later. We'd love to see you in person at our Volunteer Day this Saturday and at our Samhain Festival at the end of the month at our nature preserve. Please register for both on our website. And join us again on Wednesday, November 5th, for our Ancestors' Wisdom Full Moon Circle broadcast. If you'd like to be a presenter on one of our monthly Full Moon Circle broadcasts, please email circle@circlesanctuary.org and put in Full Moon Circle in the subject line. Please consider joining our community by becoming a member or a supporter of us with your donations. We offer a wealth of nature spirituality information on our website, where you can also find links to our weekly Circle podcasts. And check out our extensive archives on Circle Sanctuary's YouTube channel. Wishing you all bright full moon blessings and a very blessed Samhain.